Hi, I'm Geodav, and in this video we're going to make a very simple damage mask texture for our land tank mesh. You're like, well, hang on a minute, that doesn't look like a land tank to me. Well, no, this is the startup screen of when you open up the program Blacksmith 3D Paint freeware. Now, where'd you get this? Very simple. www.blacksmith3d.com. A nice little program. Now you can download it. You can trial the Suite 3.2, which can do a lot more than what I'm going to show you. As you can see here, just very quickly go down. Lots of little Gucci little things that it can do. But I say you get the download, you get the trial version, but the best thing, well, I won't say the best thing about it, the bit that I like about it is you get unlimited use of this paint program. Right, so let's just close that down here and let's get into this paint program. Now obviously we don't want this guy here, we want our land tank mesh. So what I'll do, new file, import. Now as you can see, all my OBJ files, I keep telling people about these. Always a good idea to export them because you never know when you're going to need it. Right, OBJ land tank. Click OK. It will work. Come on, there you go. And no, we don't want to keep that one. And there you see our land tank. Now notice, if you remember rightly, when I exported this from 3ds Max, I removed the tracks because the tracks was a separate material or texture, which would just cause a lot of problems when we start doing the damage mask. Now at the moment, as you can see here all over, it says no map applied. So obviously before we can do anything we need to apply a map. So how we do that? Go up here to the maps tab. We don't want that one there, we want a new one. So right click, create a new map. Now it's flashed up here as a little sort of warning in this bottom left hand window to tell you this version has a maximum map size of 1024 by 1024 because it's a freebie. Now anybody in the right mind will realise when you're getting a freebie, a lot of the time you're not going to get the full working version because that costs money. So we'll settle with the 1024, which is actually the size that Epic use for their damage masks. So okay, stop burbling, let's get on with it. Here we go. Alright, name it. Very simple. Damage mask. I can't sort of look at the screen and type at the same time, so .tga, because I want it to save as a TGA file. Yep. So I'll click on OK. Now we've got a nice white map here, and if you look at the damage maps that Epic have, they have a black background. To make things a lot easier for us, this company has made a nice little sort of, I won't say converter, but if you right click on the map, you go down here and it says Invert Colors. Yep, there we go, it's inverted. We've got a nice black map, but it's still not on the mesh. So we go onto the manager, click on materials, click on the drop down, and you don't get a drop down there, you get a little window open here. Now as you can see, channel, colour, map, strength, blah blah blah. Freebie version, you can do the colour map and the bump map. Okay, so we just want to do the colour map, which will be our damage mask, and straight away you see everything's gone black, which is what we want. Okay, next thing, I don't want to paint in this view, so all I'm going to do is go onto the drop down top. Now as you can see, I can just see a black blob or black square here, but that's okay, I can live with that. So what do we need now? Well, let's a little bit about the paintbrush tool. Obviously paintbrush tool icon looks the same as everybody else's. Now you've got a few options here: size, strength, hardness, spacing, density, control, vertices or polygons. You can select, and all the other bits and pieces, channels, mirror symmetry, all the rest of it. Play around with it as much as you want. Now to make things easier for me, I'm just going to use the culling option and click on none, which means anything I paint here on this bit, anything that's under my brush will get painted. Makes things very easy. Okay, next thing. Now I don't want white as my background, so we'll just switch them around so we've got a background of black just in case. Click on the white square and you get the colour picker. Now if you actually look at this closely, you'll see all these names, and if you don't recognise them, they're in German, but if you've got an English operating system, it'll come up in English for you, or French, or Swedish maybe. Yeah, you never know. Anyway, get on with it. Right, I'm going to take a full red colour, e.g. the red setting is at 255. Now I've noticed with the damage masks that Epic use, I'd take a wild guess or educated guess that they use the full colours as well. So that's what I'm going to do. It seems to work for me. Why there's lots of different colours I don't know, but we don't have any documentation as modders, so we'll just play it by ear and try and copy as they do. But I'm going to do this a lot quicker than what they would. Okay, let's start painting. Straight lines. Trying to get the leading edges. There we go. Yeah, very, very good, isn't it? You can see absolute professional at this. Yeah, right. Okay, that's our leading edge. So what we're going to do now? Well, we're going to pick a green for the middle bit. As you can see, green at the full 255 value, and increase the brush size a little bit here. Maybe take it up to 20. Keeps reminding you to save and all the rest. Now here we go. Getting a bit of fade in there. Not being too worried about these things. Now we're going to do the turret in another view in a minute. Okay, that'll do that for that. Now I'm going to take a full blue to do the back end. Now if I've got these colours wrong, which wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, don't worry about it. You can always go back and just redo the mask if you want. As you can see, we have, yeah, that seems to be okay, but it's only painted the top. Well, that's where this, it's seized up on me. This is sometimes that happens. Your cursor will seize for whatever reason. Now it might be my system, it might be the fact that I'm recording or whatever. Now this is what this bit does here, culling none. Now if I go over here, click on the rotate tool, as you can see it's come up there. All your little options yet again. Now I'm just going to rotate this around. Oh, look at that, it's painted the whole lot. Now isn't that Gucci? You'd probably say no, he's an idiot, but anyway, I think it's a nice little trick. Now I don't want the back of this, I want, there we go, that side will do. Now all I'm going to do this time is take my lovely pink colour, as you can see, still full versions, yeah. 255, 255. I mean, somebody's bound to see these videos and say he's talking out of his backside again, but that's the way my head works these things. Now I'm just going to, you don't need the slider, you can click on them and just type in the value that you want, and I'm just going to paint my turret pink. Now isn't that nice? You were. There we go. Just rotate it around again so you can see it. Yeah, it's all gone pink. Yep, that's fine. That works for me. Alright, next thing the last thing we really have to do for this mesh and this texture is obviously export it. Now you can save if you want, save your project, that's up to you, but obviously it uses its own file format. Stop it, get away. So what we do, click on the maps. Here you can see the thumbnail of how it's been painted with the UVs. Now obviously if you got more complicated UVs it might be a bit more blatant, but very simple there for me. Now right click on there, export. Now obviously last video I done was a buggy. I'll go on to the tank. Now as you can see I've done this before because the last time my audio didn't sync up properly, so I just re-recorded it for you guys. Okay, so we'll just save that. Yeah, fine, thank you. And that is it, to be honest. Now I want the pan. There we go. And that's all you need to do for your damage mask. Now obviously if you look at this damage mask and the ones that Epic do, they're a lot better and probably a lot cleaner and work more proficient in the game. Now this is just a quick sort of heads up to see how I do it. Now obviously if I'm doing one of my own vehicles for my mod, I'll take a little bit more time and consideration. This is just a quick show how it's done, and obviously you'll do a lot better job than what I have. So we'll just leave it at that, and this is basically everything that we need now to start putting things into the editor and making up our packages. So we'll see this in the editor quite soon. So see you then.